It is just after 1 in the morning and someone has just handed you a lie that will kill you. The lie is simple. They tell you the reactor is fine. They tell you there has been a small fire on the roof, nothing more, and that your job is to go up there and put it out. They do not tell you that the reactor is open to the sky. They do not tell you that the black rocks scattered across the roof, the ones you are about to walk past, are pieces of the reactor core itself. They do not tell you that the air you are about to breathe is the most dangerous air on the surface of the planet. You are 25 years old. You are a firefighter. You have been told there is a fire, and putting out fires is what you do. So you go. This is the story of the first people into Chernobyl. And the most frightening part is not what the radiation does to you. It is that you cannot see it, you cannot smell it, you cannot feel it, and by the time your body tells you something is wrong, it is already far too late. Let me take you back a few hours, to before the alarm. It is the night of April 26th, 1986. You are asleep in the fire station in Pripyat, a town you love. Pripyat is new. It was built from nothing, built for the workers of the power plant and their families, and it is genuinely one of the nicest places to live in the entire country. Wide streets, a brand new amusement park with a yellow Ferris wheel, waiting for its grand opening in just a few days. Young families everywhere, because the plant needs young workers, and young workers have children. The average age in your town is 26. It is a town of the future, and 2 miles away sits the reactor that pays for all of it. You have never been afraid of it. Nobody has. You have been told your whole life that these reactors are completely safe. So safe, the officials joke, that they could be built in Red Square. You believe them. Why wouldn't you? Then, at 1:23 in the morning, the sky over the plant turns colors that skies are not supposed to turn. The alarm goes off. You are pulled out of sleep, into your gear, into the truck, and out into the night. And as you drive toward the plant, you see it. A glow. Not orange, like a normal fire. Streaks of blue and white light rising straight up into the dark, beautiful in a way that makes the back of your mind uneasy without knowing why. You do not know it yet, but you are looking at the inside of a nuclear reactor, open to the air, glowing. You arrive, and here is the first cruel detail of your night. There is no dramatic warning, no screaming, no chaos that matches the scale of what has happened. Just a fire, or what looks like a fire, and a job to do. Your commanders on the scene do not know what has really happened either. The people who do know, deep inside the plant, are too frightened or too confused to say the word out loud. The word is meltdown. Nobody says it. So you do your job. You run the hoses. You climb. And here is the thing about the radiation that makes this story so hard to hold in your mind. As you work, you feel almost nothing. There is a strange metallic taste in your mouth, like you are sucking on a coin. The air feels oddly warm. That is all. There is no pain. There is no visible enemy. You are standing in an invisible fire that is passing through your body, breaking apart the cells inside you, and your senses report almost nothing wrong. Some of the men around you start to feel it faster. A few become dizzy. 1 or 2 begin vomiting, there on the roof, and nobody understands why, because it does not feel like the kind of night that should make a strong young man collapse. You keep working. What else is there to do? There is a fire, and you are a firefighter, and no one has told you to stop. You do not know that you are receiving, in these few minutes, a dose of radiation that the human body was never built to survive. The black chunks on the ground, the ones your boots keep kicking past. You do not know that a single one of those pieces is throwing out enough radiation to kill a person who stands near it for too long. One of your friends, curious, will later pick one up with his bare hand, just to see what it is. What happens to that hand is something I am not going to describe. He simply had no way of knowing. None of you did. You fight the fire on the roof for hours. And here is the part that history should never forget. You win. Against something you did not understand. With equipment that offered you no protection at all, you and the others actually stopped the fire from spreading to the neighboring reactor. If that second reactor had caught, the disaster would have been many times worse. Worse than most people alive today could imagine. You bought the world's safety with your own bodies, and most of you did not even know you were doing it. By the time the sun comes up, you are exhausted. Your face has a strange tan, a redness, as if you spent a day at the beach. This is not a tan. This is your skin reacting to a dose of radiation that is already, at this moment, ending your life. But you feel, for now, almost normal. Tired. A little sick. You go to get some rest. This is the cruelest mechanic of radiation sickness, and you are about to live it. There is a period after a lethal dose where the body seems to recover. The nausea fades. You feel better. You might even feel fine. Doctors call it the walking ghost phase. For a little while, the dead do not know they are dead. You joke with the other men. You talk about going home. And inside you, at a level too small to see, the damage is absolute and already done. Now, while you rest, let me tell you what is happening to your town, to Pripyat, to the families 2 miles away. They do not know. It is a beautiful Saturday. The sun is out. And the people of your town, 50,000 of them, wake up and go about their lives with no idea that the air itself has turned against them. Children go outside to play. People hang their laundry in the warm air. Some hear there was an accident at the plant and walk toward it to get a better look, standing on a railway bridge to watch the strange smoke, not knowing that the dust settling on their skin as they watch is quietly dozing them. That bridge will later be given a nickname. It is not a kind one. For an entire day, and then most of a second day, the town simply carries on. Weddings happen. Children play football in the invisible fallout. The authorities, terrified of causing panic and terrified of admitting the scale of what has happened, say almost nothing. The single most valuable thing in those first hours would have been the truth. And it was the one thing no one would give. When the order to leave finally comes, more than a day after the explosion, the people are told it is temporary. Take only what you need for a few days, they are told. Leave your pets. You will be back soon. They will never be back. Not in their lifetimes. Not in their children's lifetimes. 1,000 buses arrive and empty an entire city in a matter of hours, and then the doors are closed on homes with meals still on the tables, on toys left on floors, on that brand new yellow Ferris wheel that will never once carry a single child. It stands there to this day, rusting, the most famous silent monument to a day the truth arrived too late. And you, the man who climbed the roof, you are taken to a hospital along with the others who were closest to it. Your own body has become dangerous to the people who love you. When your wife comes to see you, she is warned not to get too close, because the radiation is inside you now, and you have become, in a sense, radioactive yourself. Imagine that. Imagine being a danger to the person holding your hand. The men who went up first, who felt the least, who fought the hardest, are the ones who go first. Not because they were weak, because they were closest, and because they were brave enough to walk toward a fire that everyone else had the sense to fear, without ever being told what it truly was. The histories will argue about numbers for decades. How many died? Whether it was dozens or thousands or somewhere in between. They will argue about governments and cover-ups and what melted and why. And all of that matters. But the number that should stay with you is smaller than any of that. It is one. One firefighter, 25 years old, who was told there was a fire on a roof, and who believed it, and who went up because that was the job, and who came down having quietly helped save far more people than he would ever know, and who was never once given the single thing that might have saved him: the truth. So here is what is worth thinking about. We remember Chernobyl as an explosion, a place, a disaster on a map. But it was really a story about information, about the people at the top who knew and the people on the roof who didn't, and the distance between them, measured in lives. Would you have climbed the roof if they had told you the truth? Or is the more honest question this one: how many of us would even have been told? Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you want to see what it was like to live through the worst place in history, not the worst night, that video is on the screen right now.